The Heat are giving up Kevin Love. They're giving up Kyle Anderson. And they get back Norman Powell, who averaged 21 points per game for the Clippers last year. He was also an all-star snub this past February. He should have been an all-star. But the consolation prize for Norman Powell is he won't be an all-star, but he will be a Miami Heat. And damn it, it is time for a celebration. Where is the celebration music? This is something right here. This is motion, C-Cat. The Heat were asleep at the wheel. People were calling Pat Riley Sleepy Pat. And I couldn't disagree with them. Wasn't that excited about the NBA draft. I watched the Summer League game over the weekend when I was in Minneapolis with my wife's fam. And honestly, I wasn't really that thrilled. The only thing thrilling that came out of that game, big-time Bronny dunk. Big-time Bronny dunk. And then also Khalil Ware had this beautiful step-back three that he hit. And I'm like, damn, Bam Adebayo need to get in his bag. He need to teach Bam that move. But now I got something to be excited about. The Heat actually went out and got some offensive firepower, and they got it for the cheap. It's cause for celebration. The Miami Heat have motion. On this Motion Monday, I'm going to ask you all who has the most motion coming off of this sports weekend. It's not whoever the hell ate the glizzy gobbling competition. It's Pat Riley, Mickey Harrison, Eric Spoelstra, and the Miami Heat for going out and getting Norman Powell. And I won't let C-Cat rain on my parade.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This feels like an abused child who was promised the brand new PlayStation, who was promised the brand new Xbox, and that was getting that parent to next week and the week after that. That shut the kid up for a little bit so you could just eat your lunch while they're saying they want this toy, they want this toy, they want this toy. And when this child comes home from school one fateful Friday afternoon, they see this box. It kind of looks like the shape of a brand new gaming console. Kind of looks like what they've been asking for again and again and again. And you open up, and it is the PlayStation 1. And you're like, you got me something, so I'm going to be happy the thought that count, but this is not what I asked for. This is Norman Powell. This isn't Kevin Durant. This is Norman Powell. This is a PlayStation 1. This isn't Giannis Antetokounmpo. But the child is used to getting let down from their parents time and time again. So, it'll do. I'll talk myself into liking the vintage look of a PlayStation 1. I'll talk myself into liking 21 points per game and an all-star snub.
Snubbed. Robbed of an all-star appearance.
What we're going to like is almost an all-star. That's what the Miami Heat got.
But you know what that PlayStation 1 is? It is leverage. It is flexibility. It's more than what that child had the day before. And maybe he can hit his favorite pawn shop. Maybe he can hit up one of his buddies and swindle them into thinking it's a PS2. He can maybe scratch out the 1, put a 2 right there, and then boom. You've now optioned your way into the PS2 that you so heavily desired. And all you gave up was Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson. You're not giving me enough props for that at least.
I feel like you are not giving enough respect to Kevin Love. I think this is...
He wasn't playing.
You are George with a smile on your face talking to Lenny on the log and Of Mice and Men, saying, think of the bunnies, Lenny, and then you pull the trigger to Kevin Love. That's what you're doing right now, except you're not sad. There are not tears rolling down your cheeks. Yeah. You are instead very happy because on the other side of this is Norman Powell.
Well, yeah. That's what there we have it. You keep saying Norman Powell's name with a level of dismissiveness that I think is starting to feel disrespectful. 21 points a game for a team that actually made the playoffs in the Western Conference, not the play-in, but the playoffs. For a team that took the Nuggets to 7 games in the first round, he is a bucket getter, and that is something the Heat don't really have. Outside of Tyler Hero, who are you throwing the ball to and saying, all right, I feel good about this possession? Nobody.
We're putting lipstick on a pig here.
Norman
Powell.
Norman Powell is a bucket getter. He is. That's all he has right now. If he's not if you can't drop 22 a game in the league and not be a certified bucket getter at 6'4".
I think you can. Teams are
at
scoring
6'4".
And the average NBA score is 115 to 120.
At 31 years old. On a team with James Harden, mind you. On a team with Kawhi Leonard, mind you, Norman Powell was able to drop 21 a game. Imagine what he would do on a team with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. That's all I'm saying.
17 a game.
Oh my God, you're so disrespectful.
Do you think the Miami Heat are going to turn Norman Powell from a punchline and a
He's
joke?
Not a punchline.
An all-star snub. He isn't an all-star.
He's not an all-star. He was also born just 3 days before me. So he's not even that old.
So you're going to the Miami Heat are going to turn Norman Powell from an all-star snub into
an all-star.
Okay, he'll get him over the hump.
Yeah, we'll get him over the hump. Damn it. If Tyler Hero could make the all-star game last year, especially in now a depleted Eastern Conference, Norman Powell can be an all-star next year. It wouldn't even be that against the grain because he has two things going for him. Number one, he has a chance to be the leading scorer for the Miami Heat. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I am saying that he is just as, if not more efficient of a scorer than Tyler Hero is. And also, there's a reason why the Heat went out there and got him. He's on an expiring contract as well. Contract year for Norman Powell. I think he has $20 million left. After this year, he'll be an unrestricted free agency. So not only do the Heat go out and get a scorer, they also get a guy who gives them some flexibility if they want to move off of him, trade him at the deadline. Maybe he is peaking early. Or if they want to just let him walk in free agency along with Tyler Hero, who comes up next year. Like, I love this move, not just because it's Norman Powell, all-star snub, really good offensive player. I also love this move because it shows that the front office for the Miami Heat are not stagnant. They're not complacent. They're not just running it back. And on top of that, they have built flexibility without relinquishing any value. Not saying Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson don't have value or aren't valuable, but they're not the kind of pieces that I would have expected you would have to give up to get a talent on the level of Norman Powell. Now, I see a lot of people out there making jokes. Oh, now they'll get home play-in games. Now they'll be a 7 seed instead of a 10 seed. That's cute. That's funny. Two things I want to remind you of. Number one, the Miami Heat are the play-in champs, right? They're the greatest play-in team of all time. So if they do sneak their way into the play-in or maybe somehow fall down into the 7 or 8 seed, we'll have the utmost confidence that not only can the Heat get out of the play-in, they might just make it to the NBA Finals. How about that? Huh? Number two, I will say this. When I look at the Eastern Conference this year, let's not get too hasty with doubting what the Heat look like as things stand today. Even if they don't make another move, which they now are more flexible and have more ability to make more moves, whether that be acquiring Bradley Beal, whether that be trying to package some things together to go out and get Giannis if he does demand a trade at some point, or I'm not sure if it's available or not, but if you're watching us on YouTube at ESPN West Palm, you'll see Norman Powell getting buckets against the Golden State Warriors right now. Jonathan Kuminga's still on the market. There's a lot of options out there for the Heat to still add another piece to this team. And in age 32 season for Norman Powell, coming off of a career year, pairing him with Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, we kept Davion Mitchell at the point. Like, I'm just saying, this move right here shows sign of motion. If the Ring camera were to send us a notification this morning based on what the Heat did, it would say motion detected. Motion detected. And what is that motion? 22 points per game from a guy coming off of a career year, going into a contract season, going into a locker room where he's going to have the best coach he's ever played under. He's going to have a defensive stud behind him and Bam Adebayo to clean up any mistakes that he might leak. And on top of that, he's going to be playing for a team that is in desperate need of his offensive help and firepower. I don't see how you can't be celebratory if you are a Miami Heat fan today. It is Emotion Monday, and damn it, I'm playing the music again.
Really?
You're not trying to hate. You just mad because the Nets got Michael Porter Jr. now.
That's not the source of my anger.
It should be. It should be.
This feels
that's your king now.
Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Like, this is the move, right? This feels like it's
no. This is not the move. That's what I'm saying. But this is enough.
This is enough. This turns you from the worst postseason sweep of all time into maybe they get to play one more postseason series before they lose in a gentleman's sweep.
Let's look at the